How's it going, everyone? Happy Friday to everyone watching. Welcome back into the channel. So the final injury report for the Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears Week 18 playoff implications for the Packers just came out. So in today's video, we're going to break down the entire injury report with all the designations. They have ruled 8 questionable and 2 players out. So there's a lot to go over, as well as the Bears injury report, which has some very important injuries on it as well. If you happen to be a new viewer here and want more Packers news, analysis, and updates every single day, you'll find it all here right on this channel. Everything Green Bay Packers, from injury reports, game analysis, game previews, team news, all of that right here on this channel. So go down and click subscribe if you haven't already. All right, guys, so let's dive down into this final injury report of the regular season. Hopefully, we'll be talking about another injury report next week if the Packers win against the Bears and do get into the playoffs. I'm extremely hype about this game. So bringing up the Packers injury report, at the top is Jaire Alexander, and he holds no game designation. He practiced in full all week, and it's signaling that that shoulder is fully healthy with no designation here. I'm extremely excited for his return after that suspension. I think vibes are back up. I think everything has kind of mellowed out, and I think he will return and have a good game. Matt LaFleur talked about his return from suspension, saying he's been awesome. He's had a great attitude, came in with great energy. I told Ja this from day one. He's very charismatic, and he has energy to lift up the room. His energy can uplift everybody. So it looks like Jaire is responding very well to this, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers make him one of the team captains going into this game. And I do suspect a big game from Jaire versus DJ Moore. Next on the Packers injury report is Zane Anderson, full participant with his knee injury yesterday and today, no designation. Devondre Campbell, no designation. I know he was full all week, but I was still suspecting, like, okay, he'd still be questionable, but he holds no designation. He will start at linebacker next to Quay Walker. Isaiah McDuffie, who we'll go into here in a second, is doubtful, so it will be Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker. Nice to see him back in Week 18 in a very important game. It seems like the mentality of these defenders have completely swapped from what it was weeks ago with Devondre tweeting and Jaire, you know, the whole situation with Jaire. So I'm really excited for this defense, surprisingly, going into this game, and I think they will have a good game yet again, like they did last week. As for A.J. Dillon, he is out of this game. Now, Matt LaFleur mentioned it was his neck injury that's holding him out. He had a stinger in his neck. It's not the thumb injury holding him out. He didn't practice all week. He is out of this game. Look for Emmanuel Wilson to be activated, and also the Packers still have Patrick Taylor, but it's an Aaron Jones show, and they should give him 20 plus carries yet again. But A.J. Dillon being out of this game does hurt the Packers a little bit, but with a broken thumb, he wasn't getting too many touches anyway. Rudy Ford is another player that is out of this game. He has a hamstring injury. He didn't participate all week. The Packers haven't been starting him at safety even when he is healthy, which is not something I would do, but he's out of this game regardless. Then we see Elgton Jenkins with his ankle injury. This is massive news. You know, yesterday with the 2 did not participate earlier this week, I was kind of saying, hopefully we get Elgton Jenkins limited on Friday, and he was limited. Now he is still questionable, but my best guess is he does suit up and play in this game. So it's an ankle injury, so they're going to obviously test it Sunday, but I think Elgton does play in this game. Then we have Aaron Jones, limited all week, no injury designation. He will obviously play, and hopefully the Packers give him another 20 plus carries. Then we have Isaiah McDuffie with his concussion, didn't practice all week. He is doubtful, so he obviously hasn't passed concussion protocol yet, so they'll likely allow him until tomorrow to potentially pass that, and that's why he's doubtful and not out, but I don't see him playing in this game. It'll be Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker starting at linebacker. Luke Musgrave is questionable. He has not been activated yet on the 53-man roster. I say that happens either later today or tomorrow, and we see some Luke Musgrave in this game. Now, will it be 100% Luke or what he's used to getting at snaps? Probably not. They're still going to start Tucker Kraft, but I think they might sprinkle in some Musgrave and some 12 personnel. And even if, you know, if the Packers go on to win this game and go into the playoffs, still super excited to have both Musgrave and Kraft going forward. Then we see Josh Myers, who was a full participant yesterday and today, no designation. It would be horrible if we didn't have Myers and Elgton Jenkins. I know Myers hasn't been playing well recently, but having both of those out would have meant Royce Newman comes in, so luckily we're not going to have to deal with that. Keyshawn Nixon, full participant yesterday and today with his quadricep, no injury designation, coming off a great game against the Vikings. John Owens, who's been starting at safety most of the year, limited all week with his knee injury, no designation. Another massive one one here, Jaden Reed, he is questionable, limited all week, but he's going on record, I believe yesterday, saying he feels great, so I don't see Jaden Reed not playing in this game. He's been massive for this offense, and I say he plays in this game and has a good game against the Bears. Darnell Savage, full participant all week. He has no designation, so he'll start at safety opposite John Owens. TJ Slayton, limited all week, but no designation. This is also a really big one, an underrated one to have no designation here. Slayton's been big for this defensive line, and it's great to, not have a designation here. Preston Smith, just like Elton Jenkins, was limited today. So yesterday, same thing as Elton Jenkins, same ankle injury, right? We kind of thought, okay, it's going to be big for Friday to see if both of these guys can play. And luckily, both of them were limited today, and I think both do play. They're both veterans. They don't need massive amounts of practice, and obviously, like I said, it depends how they feel Sunday on that ankle, but I do believe both play. I think most of these questionable players do indeed play. Luke Tenuta is another questionable player. It's just going to come down to if the Packers want to activate him or if they need to. Quay Walker on this list, full participant yesterday and today, no designation, so again, he'll start next to Devondre Campbell at linebacker. Another important update is Christian Watson here, and you might see, did not participate Friday. Did he have another setback? It's a hamstring. It's Christian Watson. That was not the case. It was not a setback. Matt LaFleur said of Watson, we felt he had 2 good days of practice and wanted to give him today, and we'll see where he's at on Sunday. So it seems like it was just a rest day for Christian Watson, which makes sense, it being a hamstring injury. So it looks like Watson will return here in week 18 after missing the last 4 games with this hamstring injury. Then we see Tay Wicks with a chest injury. He was a full participant yesterday and today. Kind of shocked to still see questionable here. I thought this would be a no designation. I see him playing. I see all 3 of these wide receivers that are questionable playing in this game, which is massive for the Green Bay Packers. They're going to have their full armory, for lack of better terms, at wide receiver against the Bears, which is going to be huge because the Bears' best cornerback is doubtful, which we'll get into when we go over the Bears injury report. Then finally, Emmanuel Wilson is questionable. He has to be activated, and I see him being activated with A.J. Dillon being out, so then they'll have Aaron Jones, Patrick Taylor, and Emmanuel Wilson for this game. Then to quickly go over the Bears injury report, at the top is Tyson Bagent, their backup quarterback, no designation. Kyler Gordon, their slot cornerback, was added to the injury report today with a calf injury. He was limited, but questionable. Then we see Khalil Herbert, who was limited yesterday with a back injury, then was out of practice today for a personal reason, is also questionable. I say he plays in this game. And as I said earlier, their best cornerback is doubtful. That is Jalen Johnson. He is the #1 graded cornerback via PFF in the NFL. He's been great for them. He didn't practice all week with a shoulder injury. He is doubtful. This is massive news. This is huge for the Bears defense. This is their best defender on defense by far. And they're probably going to be without him when the Packers have all their wide receivers, or at least they should have all their wide receivers. So the Packers passing game should be able to get going without Jalen Johnson back there. Cole Kmet was a full participant today and is questionable. I see him playing. Mercedes Lewis, that's veteran rest, nothing there. Darnell Mooney is out of this game for a second week in a row with his concussion. It is their #2 wide receiver. Although he's not been great, he is still their #2. He is out of this game. DJ Moore, we talked about him already. He's playing in this game, no designation. It's going to be massive. Hopefully Jaire can shadow DJ Moore. He's by far their #1 weapon on offense outside of Justin Fields. So they're going to try to throw him the ball, especially with Mooney being out. Lucas Patrick added to the injury report today with a calf injury. Ex-Packer limited today and is questionable. He has not been good at center, but obviously I think it would be worse to have a backup in there. And then long snapper Patrick Scales, full participant today. He is questionable for the Bears as well. So that does it for the final injury report, Packers versus Bears. I'm super excited for this game. I think it's going to be different than last year. I think the Packers go on and win and get into the playoffs and maybe surprise a team in the playoffs as underdogs. But they got to win this game first against the Bears. This is no game to take lightly. The Bears have been playing very well recently. Won the last 5 of 7. They're playing hot. Although they're eliminated, they're going to come out here trying to beat the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be a tough game, and the Packers are going to have to establish the run, get pressure on Justin Fields, stop him from running, and hopefully create some turnovers and not turn over the ball themselves. The Bears are made off of defensive turnovers, so if they get a couple interceptions, they do really well. So if you protect the ball, I think you win this game. But that about does it for this video. I appreciate you guys coming by. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below. But I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Packers.